Show world.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, as Fanduel would say, with another banger. But before we get started, we definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsors, K&T Good Eats. That is Kevin Bird and Mrs. Bird, as well as Social Nutrition out there on Hamilton Road, and the chef at 599, the chef. And you can find him on TikTok, IG, and Social Nutrition is out there on the east side on South Hamilton Road. And the Birds, you can find them on Facebook, and they are well as on the east side of the town as well. So make sure you stop in and support those products of our sponsors. The Chief, he do well, great things. The young guy does great things, whether it's t-shirt business and a sorts of other things as well. And over at the Nutritious, you got all the healthy snacks, juices, shakes, you name it. And the Birds, they whipping up some of the greatest eats over in that business that you can ever have. So make sure that you step out on that east side of the town and jump into one of those shops, if not all three, and try it out and let us know what's your thoughts. So this evening, me and FanDuel, Zay, we've been waiting to come to you with this episode talking about our NBA predictions with these playoffs. And we feel that there are quite the matchups when we talking about the playoffs this year. The first one that we going to talk about is the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is a 4 or 5 matchup. I think that when, for just me before we get it over to FanDuel, how are you doing this evening, FanDuel? I do apologize to you. Talk to the fans for a minute. How are you doing this evening? It's good to see you and have you as well.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. Second time of the day, I got a good run in with you. You know what I mean? You pulled up on me
Yes, sir.
earlier. Got to chop it up
Oh,
with
yeah.
you for a second. But yeah, hey, I'm just chilling, man. We on spring break, so I get a little time to stay the hell off my feet and watch sports
Oh,
and
yeah.
just chill with the family. So that's a blessing.
Oh, yeah. Much deserving, man. And shout out to you and what you do, man, with the kids and the youth. And for a lot of people don't know, man, he's not just a man of what his job is. He's all about the kids in that building, man. He's always looking for them, checking on them, and making sure they are good to go for the day and even at the end of the day. So shout out to you. Appreciate what you do as well. So what's
For
your
sure.
thoughts on this Indiana Milwaukee's Bucks game that we have coming up? I do believe they tip off tomorrow night.
Man, Dame is banged up, so they expecting to be back sometime in the middle of this series, but man, this Pacer team is scrappy, bro. So
Yeah, yeah,
I always like my chances if I got the best player on the court, but just team wise, bro, I gotta go with the Pacers. I think they're a better team, bro, just all the way around, man.
yeah,
Halliburton is an ultimate point guard. They got dudes that can put it in the bucket. Maruthin, um, they got Miles Turner still. So I
yeah.
just like their team and how it's built for real. In this series against Milwaukee, I think it's a good matchup. I think they match up well with the Bucks. So I'm a slide. I said the Bucks when me and no Mr. Me and Robert did the stream,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
asked him, but I gotta switch my pick, bro. I gotta go with Indiana.
I'm with you. I was the same way with you, and I think the Dame injury for me is a big deal with it because I like Giannis. I like what they've brought together, and I think the cup that they won earlier in the season, I thought they got back to playing in that type of way. But this Dame injury, and I think this Indiana team will holler blur, as I call him, because if he's on that ball and he's moving the way he is, swinging that ball, getting that ball into all his playmakers' hands, I think Indiana definitely could be a tough out. So with you got the Indiana Pacers as well in this game. coming out in this series as well. And I think they could win it with the Dame injury. I think they could win it 4-2. Indiana's a tough team, and like you say, they're very scrappy. And Maruchin, I think he's definitely stepped his game up, man. One of the players that's I think improved a lot this season, and from start to finish, I think if there's a lot of players you could take away from teams, but if you take him away from Indiana, that's less scrappiness, and I think that gives Milwaukee the edge. So, got to give him respect and what he brings to the table. But Halliburton as well as Turner, one of them WTP Sports dudes, Texas boys, I think they could definitely get it done in the series for sure.
Yeah, and I think I want to say Nimhard, the Andrew Nimhard. I want to
Anymore, yeah,
say
yeah,
he's going to be probably my X factor. We know they got Pascal. They got long wings. I think they're gonna have enough to try different bodies on Giannis. But like I said, they ain't being out, bro, and he gonna have to be
yeah,
just thrown into that type of intensity. I hope he got it. You know what I mean? I just hope he bring it. But man, what a season Giannis is having. I don't think people understand what he's doing right now.
man,
For
he's
this
coming.
for the second straight season, he's averaging 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 60% from the field. Wilt
Another historic
Chamberlain,
season.
he's the only one to ever do it. Wilt Chamberlain
Yeah.
didn't even do it. So it's just like wow, like he probably need to get up out of there, man.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's time for him. If Milwaukee, whether they win or lose this series, I think the only way he can stay is if they win a title. That's the only way I feel Giannis can stay at Milwaukee. But definitely, hats off to what he's done for the franchise. You're talking about a historic season. When we speak on Giannis, he does this year in and year out. There's something historic about what he does for this team, for this franchise. And we definitely got to give him his respect. And even though we got Indiana, we never know what he could do, man. He messed around and averaged a triple double in this series and put them on their back. So definitely got to keep a lookout for Giannis in this series as well. The next game that we have coming up, this is a big one. I think me and you been talking about this um, matchup as far as in when it comes to players, young talent, where players are at, in their years. And we have New York and the Detroit Pistons. You got Jalen Brunson, you got Cade Cunningham, you got Thompson on Detroit side, then you got Towns, Cat, on New York. So you're seeing a lot of different pieces for both teams. I think that'll play pivotal parts in this series. But for me, I'm gonna just give you my pick. I've been rocking with my boy K. I'm going with Detroit in this series to take out the New York Knicks. What is your thoughts, FanDuel? And I know this is going to be heavy talk, a little bit because we got, a lot of respect for both of the teams and players as well.
You went with Detroit.
I'm taking Cade Cunningham, the young sensation, and I like Thompson. His defense is different, and if he could work on his jump shot, I think they could definitely be a team to reckon over the years. But I'm gonna take them in this series with the respect high on New York. I definitely respect them, but I'm taking this young Detroit team, and I think they hungry.
Yeah, I like this Detroit team. I just think they too young, man. You gotta let it bake. This a whole different intensity they about to run into in these playoffs. I think I want to say they did win the series season, or they might have tied with the Knicks. But I just think it's too many vets that they about to face that been here and did this already. So I think they're gonna have to cook up for a while. But like you said, them Piston boys, they are coming. You know what I mean? Don't let them get somebody like a Kevin Durant in the off season, man, and they gonna probably really make a noise for me next year.
Or Giannis in the offseason.
Or Giannis. I think Giannis in a contract though. I don't think they're gonna trade him, but that's possible too though. You know, um, he seemed like a smaller market type of guy too.
Yeah,
Like he don't really want to be in no L.A. or no New York's for real. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
um,
I agree.
but the Thompson twin, they got Doran, Jalen Doran in the middle out of Memphis. Tim Hardaway Jr. can get hot at any moment.
He's been
Um,
playing some. He's been playing some good ball for Detroit.
yeah, I mean he was playing. Listen, I still don't understand why they benched him in the finals last year when he was on the Mavericks.
Never,
I was like, what are y'all
never
doing?
understood it.
I did not understand it at all. I felt like if he would have played, they had a puncher's chance to win the series. But
Yeah.
I mean, guess coach thought it wasn't his series.
He was
Sometimes
averaging
it
about
was like that.
17 at that point. Like I think in a couple games he caught fire. He was up to like 17. A couple of them games, and then he just didn't play. So it's crazy.
I don't know what was going on, but Cade is one of the young rising stars we got in the league. So I want to definitely keep a close eye on how he performs in his first playoff
Yeah,
series that he's about to have. You gotta when you get to that playoffs, you gotta raise your level of play. So
right. I agree.
it's just a lot of youth on that team that hasn't been there for real, and just their core guys. Now they got great role players as vets like Stroder and Beasley, and we was just talking about Hardaway. Um, them are great role guys that been in the league, been in playoff action, know what to expect. But Cade is your
Championship
main guy.
experience. Yeah,
Cade is your main guy, and he's under experience right now. So I'm gonna have
right.
to go the other way with it.
I agree. I like your pick. I mean, because you're talking about Brunson. Brunson is Brunson. I think this is the playoff series. He got to, Cade is coming. And one thing that a lot of people going to talk about is that matchup. Is Brunson, going to be able to get this New York team out of this first round? Is he going to be able to perform in the playoffs? That type of thing. So I definitely like your pick and feel the New York Knicks is a great team as well. So I just like Cade. I might be a little biased with my pick, but I like Cade Cunningham. I like this young Detroit team, and just having Beasley and Schroeder, that championship experience, and that young team and the swag that it puts them. So that's another reason of my choice.
I feel that. K coming. He coming.
Yeah, definitely coming, man.
Get it
And
twisted.
we're
Hey,
not talking about prime. It's
I
Cade.
kinda hope he throw his name in the hat and come right now. You feel me?
Yeah,
It'll make
if he
it'll make
come right now, go ahead. You good? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it'll make it interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. If they get this win in this series, and we talking Cade averaging at least 25, 7 assists, possibly 30. Ooh, that'll be some good smoke in the air. We'll get to that as well. Then the next one, I think this is a big one in a certain way of matchup and just seeing what players will step up. Boston versus Orlando. Um, for me, it's an easy pick. Boston, of course, they defending champs. Tatum playing at a high level, probably career numbers all across the board. He's averaging, if I'm not mistaken, about 30 a game. This last month, he's been on a tear. But the role players they got, and I expect my boy JB definitely get going and have a crazy series. What's your thoughts on this one here?
Um, this is about to be a sweep. Orlando, they're not ready for Boston at all. It's not even close. I don't know if you watched that playing game the other night with the Hawks. They kind of struggled to put the ball in the basket. You know what I mean? So you're not gonna survive like that. To beat the defending champs, you got to be on point on all cylinders, and I just don't think they really there yet. I think they might be a piece or two away. I like their core players though. Franz Wagner, Paolo. Paolo remind me so much of Melo. It's crazy. Um,
Crazy,
Wendell
crazy.
Carter Jr. Um, So I mean, Cole Anthony was killing against the Hawks the other night. They couldn't stop him. That's the reason why they beat the Hawks because of Cole Anthony.
Yeah,
Cole Anthony
yeah,
carried them through a few stretches through that game. Um,
yeah.
but
Him
I
and
like
Black,
their
Anthony
core.
Black. Yeah,
I like their core guys. It's just once again, this is another young team, and you going up against the defending champs. They're gonna get
right.
swept.
Yeah, I agree. This team, I think, if you even talking about a Detroit versus Orlando type of game in the playoffs, it would be a battle of young teams. But I think this Orlando team is too young, Boston too strong. Tatum might come out drop 30 with JB dropping 30 first game. I mean, definitely a sweep. And I think this would get Boston, geared up for that next round for sure. Then just keep their juices flowing and stay ready.
Now, JB's health is in question. They say he fighting some weird injury. I don't really know
Mm,
what it is, but I think they could sit him this whole series and be all right. So
yeah.
um, because they
Get
got
ready
too
for
much.
the next series.
Yeah, just get
He
him ready
got
for the next.
firepower. And then
Yeah,
they did get the kid from the G League. They picked him up. He was averaging 35 and 15, I believe, during their playoff stretch. So that could be a good thing, getting Jalen Brown, keeping him ready for that next round and then bringing that young G League player in and giving him a few minutes to see what he could do at times. So be an interesting look too. The next one we got up, of course, is the top seed in the East. We got that Cleveland Cavaliers versus a play-in winner with the Hawks and the Heat.
we could speak about the Hawks and Heat first.
What's your thoughts on that Hawks and Heat matchup?
7 p.m. tomorrow. Man, just watching the Hawks the other night. Trey Young was out there by himself, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, it was a couple guys hit shots here and there, but I like the kid they brought up from the G League. They just banged up. They got a lot of injuries. Like, they got a lot of dudes that's out right now with injuries. So, yeah, I don't see the Hawks doing nothing with the Heat tomorrow night. It's just Trey Young by himself. I mean, the only way they get a win is if he go for 40, 45, and
yeah,
had like 10 assists, and I just don't see it happening.
I agree. They too banged up. Like you said, I was trying to see where Trey was at because I didn't get the whole game when they was playing Orlando. But I was like, man, he over there on the bench. He just looks sad, man. So I just hope good things happen for him in the future to come. But I think Miami get this one, and they look forward to playing Cleveland. See what they can muster up to try to put a fight up against this number one seed in Cleveland. But I just don't think either team is going to be ready for these Cavs. Just my opinion. Cleveland is a different team. Um, you haven't seen them this good. If you would have told me that the Cavs would win this many games, 60 plus games, 62, 65 plus games, without having LeBron in a uniform, I wouldn't believe it. But here, they have done it, with this team, man. You got to respect this Cavs team. So definitely put respect on their name, and they could definitely, possibly come out of that East. We just don't know if it's going to be a crash course to Boston to see who's top of the East, but definitely got the Cavs.
Yeah, another sweep. Whoever wins is going to be a sweep. Well, I don't
Mhm.
know. Miami got enough talent. I feel like they could scrape out with one win if
Yeah,
the Cavs have
at
an off
most.
night. But it's gonna be a sweep or a gentleman sweep either way. Them top two seeds in the East is tough.
Yeah,
They
I
probably
agree.
yeah they probably sweep the 8 seed. I lied. They would not sweep the 8 seed in the West, but we're gonna get around to that too. Or they wouldn't sweep the 7 seed in the West. So I don't know. The bottom of the
Yeah,
East is not the same as the bottom of the West. The 1 seed and 2 seed, I guess, in the West, I guess will sweep the 8 and the 7 in the East. I should have said that.
mhm.
So um, yeah, that's all I got for that round. You know what I mean? It's going to be some good series in that Eastern Conference though. Which one are you the most excited for out of that 1 through 8, 2 and 7, 3, 6, and 4 and 5?
You already know where I'm going. All Burn Hills and that Madison Square Garden. That Detroit New York game. I think that's the game to watch, man.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I feel like, you talking about a New York team that has to prove themselves. Then you talk about a young Detroit team, not only that wasn't in the playoffs, they pushed themselves up to the sixth seed. That's not an easy task, either way you look at it, East or West. It's not an
Yeah.
easy task to do, especially with a young team. And we see another team, we'll get to them over in that West that's doing something. And it took them a couple years. So, it's a good thing to see. And that's just a matchup I'm really looking forward to most.
Yeah, I want to see that and Indiana and Bucks series because there's a lot of talk like, oh, Damian Lillard, he never had a team this, and now he got the Greek Freak. This is year two. Um,
Yeah,
they got to make a move, man. Like y'all still got enough talent in there to where, and y'all still got one of the top 7 players in the NBA to where if they can click on all cylinders, they might be able
yeah,
to make it to the finals. And I'm just saying because Giannis is an all-time great, and
I agree.
I need to see something though. I don't care that y'all the lower seed. Y'all should be a 1 or 2 seed in my book because if you line everybody's team up that's in the playoffs, it's probably only one guy, maybe there's one guy you'll probably take over Giannis, and that probably is
Yeah,
Jason Tatum. And that's the only thing I'm saying. You're gonna have the best player on the floor 95% of the time. So y'all gotta do something. I gotta see this. You know what I mean?
yeah, yes,
Like
sir.
I used to say to my brothers, ninjas gotta show up.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got
y'all
to,
gotta show up.
for sure, for sure. And as we continue on into this episode talking this NBA playoff talk. Definitely want to give another shout out to our sponsors, K&T Good Eats. You can check them out at Kevin Bird on IG. Also, Social Nutrition out there on 3136 South Hamilton Road, as well as the Chef 5991. You can check him out on IG and as well as TikTok. We appreciate you as well to those sponsors. And we're going to step I believe it's time to get to that Wild West Fanduel, Zay. And this West is,
I
man,
love
this
that
West is
podcast.
crazy. This Wild West, man, it's wild. It's a wild one. We've been talking about it quite a bit within the thread throughout the chat all season since the tip of the first game. And that first matchup, this is a matchup I think we've been waiting to see, especially with Luca arriving in LA this season. You got the Denver Nuggets, Joker, Murray versus Luca, LeBron, and gang.
Now
Man, I already know how you feel as FanDuel. I
the
got your
Nuggets
Lakers.
the Nuggets is playing the Clippers.
Okay. Oh, my bad. LA Clippers. My bad. We got
Yeah.
Denver and LA Clippers. And still, this is a good matchup for me too that I've been looking forward to because of the mere fact of the Clippers, man, creeping up to the 5 seed quietly on this late push. And I got the Clippers. If they can stay healthy, clapping the Nuggets in this first round. What's your thoughts on this one, fan? Dulce.
Yes. I mean, I got the Clippers. Uh Kawhi looked like the old Kawhi, like he on a mission right now. He looked like the Terminator. Hey,
Yeah,
I used to call him the Terminator when he played for Toronto, and that's what he looked like. And
yes,
James Harden is a top 10 point guard of all time. So like that's just 2 versus 1. And the math is simple to me. You know, they got the best player in the league, the Nuggets do, but he going against 2 dudes. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I don't think it's enough around the Joker for them to survive this series for real.
I totally agree, man. They just not the same team. Since winning championship, they haven't been that same team. You know, I just think it's been a downfall more than a up. You know, they fired their coach just a couple weeks ago. Didn't really understand that, but they moved on and they're in a battle against these LA Clippers. And like you said, Kawhi is looking like a different beast, out to prove. He's been hearing all the media talk. When they start talking about Kawhi and what he used to drive and how he is with his bag of money and things like that, you notice Kawhi go get buckets. And he's paired up with, like you said, one of the top 10 players, James Harden. I think this Clipper team is on a mission. I think they've been hearing everything everybody's saying, and we can't forget about the man in the middle, Zubac. I think this is where he has to step up. Big Z, you have to shut down the Joker. You're not Batman, but in this series, you have to be Batman. So that's my only thing. And I think if he played well, that's another added piece to push and the Clippers, coming out on top of this series. And I think this would be possibly 6, 7 game series with the Clippers winning.
Yes, ever since they won the championship, they lost Contavious Caldwell Pope. They lost Bruce Brown. Brown. Them are just pieces that you just cannot replace. Them are glue guys for
Yeah,
championship teams. You see, call everywhere Caldwell Pope go, they in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And he only like a $12 million dude. I'm not saying he's the direct reason why they're in the playoffs. I'm just saying teams that want to compete need glue guys like him. And if you don't
yeah,
got them certain type of guys on your team, and that's what happened, their team got pieced apart. Now they only running seven deep. Russell Westbrook, he on the other side of the hill, um, and he's coming off the bench. But Russ ain't giving you what Russ was giving you 7 years ago. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
their team is just depleted from 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So, but they still got the best player in the world. And, I always say if you got the best player on the court, you have a chance to win in basketball.
yeah,
One
for
person can
sure.
affect the game in basketball.
And we know what Joker is, and it was I forget they were saying something about what his comparison was. They like he's like a big man, Magic Johnson. Like I seen clips and stuff like that, how he passed the ball. And I looked and seen, and I was like, man, he's not Magic, but that boy can definitely pass that ball. So definitely looking to see how he plays in this series to see if he can lead this Denver Nuggets team to a quest, towards possible hopes for another title. But these Clippers, I'm going with, and I think they definitely on a mission. So for our next one, we have your Los Angeles Lakers against Ant Man. Yeah, that's me. And them Timberwolves. We gonna see what this series is like. Is like I got LeBron, Luca. I got your Lakers. I know Ant-Man is gonna be out to try to prove a point. All this. Then you got AR-15, who got a bag. They talking about like Kyrie. That boy got a bag. Fanduel, I'm giving you the floor because these is your Lakers. Talk to us. Tell the people. Let us know what mission your Lakers are on because it's a lot of questions. Title, contention. What's your thoughts on this first series with these Timberwolves?
This is gonna be a tough series for us. I'll be talking crap sometimes. In the chat, I was like, "Man, we gonna sweep them dudes." But then I started to think, like, I know my team's weakness, bro. I can't
Yeah,
be naive to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And one thing that they got is they got two bigs. Um, and Rudy Gobert, he's gonna play defense. He's gonna get
yeah.
probably the majority of the rebounds. So if we're not playing efficiently offensively, then he probably gonna have 15 rebounds in the game. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
and then Nas Reed, we've been trying to get Nas Reed in a Laker uniform
For
for some
years.
years now.
That
Yeah,
boy bad.
he nice. Yeah, he nice. So I mean, I think it could possibly go 7 games. I'm not gonna put it past it, but I do think
Mm,
we get them. I think we get them in six.
mm. I like your predictions. I was thinking that same thing. 7 game series, possibly. It could be six though, but I got the Lakers. Ant Man. Yeah, that's me. We got to see what you're about, yeah. This the
I,
playoffs,
so
you
I'm not
know.
worried about Ant though, and
Yeah,
I think we got so many bodies we could throw at Ant. Just because my team is built on length on the wing, it's built on that. That's all we got. So I'm really not worried about. I'm really worried about the paint, like
nah,
Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Nas Reed. That's just like bigs that we don't possess on our team anymore. Since we made this trade with Luka and AD, we don't possess that no more.
right.
So
Yeah,
that's the weakness of the team. That's why they wouldn't. That's why we was talking about trying to avoid Denver at all costs. We didn't want to play. We didn't care about who we played anywhere. We just didn't want to play
didn't want to
Denver.
play Denver.
That's it.
Mm, mm. I mean, shout out to Anthony Edwards and what he's doing with this Timberwolves team. Nas Reed, we not gonna forget about you, big guy. You got a bag, you do your thing, as well as the supporting cast. Conley's still there with his veteran leadership. Um, but Anthony Edwards, the way he's shooting his 3-pointer, he's shooting at a high percentage this season. One of the top 3-point shooters in the league. Do you think, he'll look to shoot more? You think that's having knowing that he's shooting that high, do you think y'all forcing to take more shots rather than letting drive? Just a thought.
Well, I think he messing his game up by shooting so many threes. I think he easier to guard shooting threes. What you
Okay.
don't want him. Yeah, I mean he's 6'5". If he attacked the rim, he got crazy athleticism. He let people off the hook when he shoot threes because he can be streaky. You know what I mean? This probably I don't know his stats, but he don't be hitting like you think he be hitting. He's not hitting like that. Now he probably shooting a better percentage because he taking more threes, but he ain't. I think he let people off the hook. He need to stop letting people off the hook. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think it's for a team like you guys. I think if shooting the three is what you want to do, I think that's great for you guys. That give y'all a chance to run and do what y'all want to do. But like you said, I agree, man. He's much more of a threat. Just putting people on skates like you do, man. Getting to the bucket, you know, downhill, you name it, man. He's just a great player, man. Future is in great hands with the NBA, as we see. And
Yeah,
we both agree, man. Got these Lakers coming out, man. 6, 7 game series, either way it go. Definitely got the Lakers, Luka and LeBron doing their thing. We got WTP Sports in here. Appreciate you, Unc. Shout out to you, man. We know you're getting your bags packed and getting yourself prepared for that great vacation, man. Definitely enjoy yourself. The prayer is going to be out, and man, make sure you have some good old travel. I didn't see you in the building today. I was searching, but they said it was nap time. So I know what nap time is down there in them rooms. I'm not trying to bother with it. And the
man, that's
next one,
crazy. He trying to get under my skin with that goat comment, man.
what
He
did,
know
what
what
did,
he
what did he
doing.
say? He
The
said the
goat
goat.
in the Lakers. He trying to press my buttons, man.
He said, hold on. This is Beans Lakers as the GOAT that you love came a few years after. But I'm going to say that for another day and sip this tea. And we're going to get to the next one. We got them young Houston Rockets. Them young Houston boys are the scary number 2 seed. And they're going up against, I said in the thread, I said Chef Buckets. When you got Curry and Jimmy balling like they was, you got them going up against Curry, Jimmy, the Golden State Warriors. I think this is going to be a great series. What is your thoughts on this one here?
Man, this is gonna be a tough series, man, because it's like the Rockets. They young. You know what I keep saying this about the young
Yeah,
teams, bruh. So, but this is one of the young teams that kind of excite me. You feel me? But this is what I'm scared about with Houston. Their best offensive player is Jalen Green, right?
yeah,
But it will be games that he is so not into it that he'll just sit his ass down in the fourth quarter and go with
right.
somebody else.
Yeah.
And
So,
when your best offensive weapon can not play consistent enough to where the head coach will sit you on the bench, I don't like you in a 7 game series when you facing the Steph Curry and the Jimmy buckets. I just cannot, because them dudes,
Yeah,
I know they gonna show up every night. You know what I mean? I know that every night, but
they kind of.
the Thompson twin is gonna make it hard for Steph Curry, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, this about to be his coming out party. Cause I
Yeah,
mean, people know who he is, but let's be honest, Houston don't get a lot of TV time. People ain't really seeing the Rockets as much as they should have. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
exactly. I agree.
the way their team is built, they got everything you need for on their team. Now it's just about letting this process cook. But damn, a bad draw. This is a bad, awful draw for them. You know what I mean?
Awful. Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, yeah, you got the Thompson twin, and you got these long wings. You got long wings like Jabari Smith and stuff that you could throw at. Um, you could throw at Jimmy Buckets. Even Jay Sean Tate, the hometown product, is on that team.
yeah,
But I just don't see. I just don't see the championship DNA that they got on that team losing to a team that's never, like, a lot of their core guys have never been to the playoffs. You know,
yeah,
Sangoon, Jalen Green, Amin Thompson. None of these dudes been to Jabari Smith. None of these dudes even been to the playoffs yet. I
yeah.
just that's the only thing I'm saying. But I think this goes 6 games. I'm gonna give them 6. You feel me?
Six.
Yeah, I think that one game that they win, that's the out of the two, is gonna be one of them nail biters. I think the
Yeah,
other one, I think they just gonna catch the Warriors slipping and they might just
catch
pop
them
them.
slip.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I like that.
I like the Warriors in this though.
I'm I'm exactly the same way with you, man. This Houston team got the right rating with the wrong draw, man. You going against Chef Buckets is what I'm calling them until somebody take them out. 37, 38, both over 30, and they still dropping the ball in the net at a rate in a time of need, and that's playoffs. They called him Jimmy Buckets. I'm changing it up, and it's going to be Chef Buckets because he's partnered up with the chef. So I got the Golden State Warriors 4-2. Shout out to Houston Rockets getting this number 2 seed. This young team they got Thompson, Green, Tate from the hometown, as we said. What's the other? The
Hey, hey,
big.
hey,
He's
I
a
like
monster.
I like that Chef Buckets, but I think I like Jimmy Curry more.
Ooh, I was gonna
I
say that.
see
Let's go ahead and say that Jimmy Curry, because Jimmy
that Jimmy
Curry with
Curry
the
sound
stew in the pot.
crazy.
Yeah, Jimmy Curry
Yeah,
with the stew in the pot for sure. That's
you
what we
want to
go. That's what
say?
we gonna say. We
You
on
want to
to it, yes
say?
sir. Jimmy Curry, and they both go for 30 in game one. I'm calling it like we see it because the way they played, man, the other night, and just seeing with Draymond Green falling out, he still was a productive player. Like we got to understand Draymond Green. He's at the end of his era, his career, in senses, but just what he brings to the table. You got playoff championship leadership. You add Jimmy to this group. You bring you bring Jimmy Curry alive. That's what you've done, and you've ignited something that we don't know what is to see except 37 and 38. That's all we know so far. And I think we just got to stay tuned because I think they in store of a historic run, possibly with what they're doing, and it could be something special. So I'm taking Golden State 4-2, as you said, and it's just great basketball that we seeing with Golden State.
Absolutely.
The next one we have up, of course, is that play in with Dallas and Memphis. And of course, they got to play that top seed. We all know who it is. We'll get to them shortly. But with this Dallas and Memphis game, my question is, I don't really have no pick in this game. But my question would be, are we going to see a Ja calm down with a level head, understand everything surrounding him, everything that goes on, and just play basketball? I think if we see that type of Ja Morant, I think we'll be in store for something. special moving forward. I think if he's so talented of a player, if he put everything to the side, just play basketball, I think we'll see something even more special than what we've seen. But I just for this game, I don't. I want to watch this game. I don't have no pick because I think is Anthony Davis playing?
Yeah, for sure. What you hey?
That's
Why you think they in the
that's
play-in? Because he came back and dragged them back to it.
that's gonna be the big thing. That's gonna be the big key. I'm not gonna make no pick, but I'm gonna say this: if Anthony Davis gets 25 and 10, Dallas win. That's all I'm gonna say. What's your thoughts on this one, Fanduel?
Man, I got the Mavericks winning this game. Man, I think Anthony Davis was on a mission ever since he said he was gonna finish the rest of the season. Uh, I love Ja though. Ja, that guy for real.
Yeah,
I just think the Grizzlies, yeah, they got Edie, but man, the Mavericks got like four bigs that they gonna throw out
yeah,
there. You know what I mean? And they all
they
can
all have it.
play. They all can play. You know, you got Anthony Davis, you got PJ Washington, you got Derek Lively the second, then you got Daniel Gafford coming off the bench. That's a lot to deal with, bruh. Like, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if they
yeah,
was in foul trouble for real. Like, all they bigs out of foul trouble in this game. But
I agree.
Anthony Davis had a bad game the other night, and they still won. So, I mean, man, if
And
they had Kyrie, bro, it would have
man,
been it would have been some scary hours in the Wild Wild
some
West. I
scary
ain't
hours in the West, man. And with you mentioning that, just let rewind before you said that. No Luca, no Kyrie, because we know Luca over in LA teaming up with Brown. Kyrie get hurt, man. Praying for you, bro. Want you to get better. I wish you was balling for these Mavericks, Kai. I wish you was balling. I wish you was laced up. I just wish you was. But this Mavericks team in the playoffs, Davis said what he said. They balling. We got to put some respect on their name, and they was in the NBA Finals last year. So we can't forget that. This is a team with experience. They have Anthony Davis available for the playoffs. Okay, we know Kyrie's a big time loss, but we got to put some respect. Next man up, who's going to step up for Dallas outside of Big AD? If he gets 25 and 10, I know the Mavericks win. That's just I love AD's game. One of my Kentucky boys, but he's just a different animal, man. We got to give him his flowers and give him the respect he deserves because he's just a beast at what he do when he on that court.
he can get 25 and 10, but I don't think they win if Clay don't give me at least 20. Clay got to give me
Mm,
20 at least.
mm. Clay got to
So
give you 20.
he got to give me 20.
I like it. I like that. I like that. That mean he's shooting the leather off that ball, as you say,
Yeah.
FanDuel say. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I like that. And then the winner of this has got to go against this team that everybody is talking about. We talk about him a lot. We talk about Mr. MVP and Shy, and we're not talking about the senior group, ladies and gentlemen, of the sports world, fans all over. We talking about Shy Gilgis Alexander. And he's the beast. MVP to me, MVP to us, as we talk about. I think either team is in for a run for their money. I think they may get one win, two at the most. If OKC is just off their game. OKC is really that good. They're really that good. What's your thoughts?
I think they sweep. I think they sweep either one of these teams. This is not when I don't think this is when stuff is going to get interesting. Stuff is going to get interesting in the second round because I think either one of them teams can really run OKC to a 7 game series between the Nuggets and the Clippers. I think though this 8 playing Ja might be able to steal one Ja, but if they get Dallas, they definitely sweeping them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even gonna be up for debate.
Gotcha. I like them thoughts, man. And the way the playoffs looking, I just like what we got. Comparisons on both sides and what matchup stands out to you. I think I know what matchup stands out to you most in this wow West.
It's probably gonna have to be the Clippers and the Nuggets because I think really either one of them teams can possibly upset OKC in the second round. So
Yeah,
and that's the one I'm gonna be keen at looking at. Even though that Houston, really all these matchups in this is gonna be interesting. Even the 1 versus 8, because as I do think OKC would sweep both of them teams, or maybe gentlemen sweep. I think the games are gonna be real competitive. Like unlike on the East side, I think the 1 and 2 seeds you're gonna see sweeps, but you're gonna see 2 or 3 blowouts in the games. You know what I mean? Um, I think that OKC though they'll have good games with Dallas or Memphis, but
yeah,
Denver or the Clippers, I don't think OKC want to deal with Jokic. I don't think they want to deal with the Joker. And if Clippers walk into OKC, are we like either one of these teams? Are we
yeah.
sure that OKC gonna have even the best player on the court? Because you talking about the Joker and you talking about the
Joker, you
old
talking about
Terminator Kawhi. He looked like the
yeah,
old Terminator. You know what I mean? So I
and
don't
James
know.
Harden getting buckets.
Yeah, we expect Shea to win the MVP, but just because you win the MVP in the season doesn't mean you the best player. So
Right,
I mean, it
I
could get
agree.
interesting for them in the second round.
Yeah, I agree. Man, that's I'm gonna go with the Golden State Warriors, Houston. I don't know. This Houston team. I don't know what it is about these young teams. This Houston team has gotten to a number 2 seed from being one of the lowest. Well, I'm not gonna say one of the lowest where they were at last year. No one had them as a 2 seed coming in. I didn't think they would be a 2 seed. I knew they would be good, but I didn't think they would be this good for sure. So I'm interested to see what they do against this Golden State Warriors team, who's been playing the best basketball since making these trades. Even through with the injuries, I know it may have been different, but we're here today, and they've been playing the best ball. So with that being said, Houston being where they're at, no one thought that's going to be a matchup to see. And I like the way we think when it comes to some of these matchups because we both looking at some of the same things with each of our matchups. How certain players going to play, what's going to be the main thing when it comes to not having this player, you know, having that player, because I'm looking into the Golden State injury with my one boy P. I forget his name. He got the wild name. His injury from the last game. So is he going to be full go? Is he playing hurt? Some of those things. So other than that, man, I'm definitely looking forward to this playoffs that we have this year. I'm gonna definitely be tuned in to see what goes on, see how it all unfolds, and like you said, man, that matchup that could possibly happen in that next series, man, that okay, yeah, man, I'm gonna definitely tune in, and that might have to switch over. I'm gonna have to watch both game ones, and that might have to be my pick after game one,
Oh, you
depending
can
on
watch
how
them
those
all. Trust
respective
me.
games
They
go.
going the NBA trying to get all their viewership. You're gonna be able to watch them all. They gonna layer the
I
games
think we
correctly.
Yeah, I think we get hit with that quadruple header to start the first couple of days. So I'm definitely gonna be tuned there for sure.
So well, Saturday it goes 1 p.m. Milwaukee,
Hmm.
Indiana. 3:30 game is Denver and the Clippers, and then the 6 o'clock game is Detroit and New York, and then the nightcap game is the Wolves and the Lakers.
Oh, I like that.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
gonna
like
it's
that.
gonna be a quadruple header, but
Oh
you're gonna
yeah.
be able to watch all of them. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be
The
glued to the
breakdown is coming.
TV.
And we gonna have y'all tuned. We got y'all coming, ladies and gentlemen. We got y'all coming with the NBA playoffs. We're gonna be talking it. Then we got more talk about the goats and all the different things that we be getting the comments on. We appreciate all the feedback. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in every time we stream, all those new subscribers. And make sure y'all go check out Fanduel Zay. Make sure y'all go like, follow. He's one of us. He's not just here doing what he do. He has his page, he has his podcast set up, and he's doing what he do as well. He's the man behind a lot of the digital. almost everything you see going down when it comes to everything we doing differently in the screen. It's FanDuel, Zay, man. We appreciate you, bro. And he's drinking out of that Kobe bean as we are talking about the playoffs. That is the bean, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in peace to one of his goat, not one of the goats. That is his goat, ladies and gentlemen, and that is my goat behind MJ. And we know WTP's goat. You're gonna have to wait in line, brother, because you
Hey,
might have a couple
I got
more years to go.
one more question for you though, real
Talk
quick
to us.
before
Talk to
we
us, because
bounce
we
out.
got all night.
I want you to start on the Eastern Conference, but we're gonna move to the Western Conference as well, though.
Okay.
But out of all these matchups, who is the one versus one matchup you looking forward to seeing? Like, it's him, it's that guy versus that guy.
Ooh, ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, yeah.
If I told you, you would go crazy over this. You might know what I'm thinking.
Nah, I don't.
I'm looking forward to a matchup because you know I've been talking my stuff about my boy all season.
Okay,
In the
go ahead.
East, I'm talking Cade Cunningham versus Jason Tatum. That would be a classic matchup. That would be a matchup because I think they would guard each other in some type of way. I don't know why. I just think it would be nice to see.
Well, they're gonna have to put a bigger body on him. I think you know the Boston Celtics got so many long bodies. When you get to the
Right, right,
playoffs, you gotta whoever the best player is,
right.
you gotta switch players on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But who gonna be guarding him in the fourth quarter is the question. And I think
yeah.
Michael Bridges might draw that assignment. Honestly, he more because you want Jason Tatum kind of save himself for offense.
Okay, okay.
I
I
say
just,
Michael Bridges. I'm tripping.
just, just the matchup. Like I don't know. It's just I would just like to see it in the playoff just because
Well,
of the
you
way
have
they
Bridges, but
both been playing. But I know Detroit might not get to that, but just the Cade has been playing. I mean, for his size and things like that, if they have maybe a few more pieces in Detroit and a veteran, you could look for something like that. Fourth quarter matchup, Tatum versus Cade. But that's just I don't know, man. That's a nice matchup. I like this Cade Cunningham kid, man,
I
from
know I
Oklahoma State to
hear
now,
it.
man. Like he really nice. But Brunson, and just to keep it guard, Brunson and what's his name, Brunson and Garland. I'm gonna say Brunson Garland. I would like that matchup.
Bronson, no,
Brunson Darius Garland.
Bronson, they play the Pistons,
Okay,
so it'll be
so
Brunson.
just
Brunson might be guarding on the Pistons. He might be. I don't know. They ain't gonna put him on Cade. That'd be dumb. They gonna have to sit him on the weak link.
right because if it's matchup like player versus player in the series, man, I, it might it might mess around and man, I don't that Milwaukee and Indy. That might be the only type of matchup with
Well,
Game
they
Hard.
they don't necessarily. When I'm asking you this question, they don't necessarily gotta be the exact same position. But like for instance, like my pick would be Jason Tatum versus Paolo Banchero. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I
Like,
like
do I
that
think
one.
they're
I
gonna
like that one.
guard? Do I think they're gonna guard each other all series long? No, but I do think at times they will be matched up. You know what I mean? And when they matched up, I do want to keep my eye on that because we got a young and up and coming young buck that's trying to
Yeah.
entrench his name, and then we got a big dog that been going to the finals in the Eastern Conference Finals,
So
and he
I
has
got a
solidified.
yeah, I got a good one for you then because I think they would match up against each other. Mobley versus Giannis.
Now that's a good one, but
Mm,
I'm saying just out of the first rounds that we already got. You know what I mean? That
I'll
them
go
teams,
with that one. Yeah, I'll
them,
go with
them
that
teams, no, them teams will have to meet. You know what I
one.
mean?
Yeah,
Because Mobley is on the Cavs. They play the winner of the Hawks and the Heat.
I'm gonna go
So
with your matchup, Pablo Tatum. That's it. You're
yeah,
talking about the possibilities of. 6, 7 years from now, Pablo, you can be. I'm not gonna say you're gonna be where Tatum at right now. You know, who knows what you could be in a few years? You could be at a whole different level. But definitely that matchup, I agree with you. That's a great one. Like, that could be the passing of the torch or something different. We don't know yet.
Hmm. And then on the Western Conference,
Man,
yeah, I roll with I gotta go with Luca and Edwards. I know Edwards for a fact is gonna take the assignment on Luca. He does this
that's
consistently on a consistent basis. You
yeah,
know,
that's exactly
he
what I'm
he
looking forward to.
yeah, he got that old school dog and he want to guard the best player.
Yeah,
So he gonna be on Luca for sure. Luca ain't gonna turn around and guard him on the other end though. So don't get excited for that part. Luca ain't trying to
right.
play no defense.
He don't want no smoke. He don't want
It-
no smoke.
It's bad out here.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like Ant. He bring that old school flavor with the new school style of play. And you know, for me as a basketball player myself, I love seeing that when you have someone young that have that old school type of dog in them because you know what you gonna get out of them. You know what you gonna get every night. You know they gonna bring what they bring to the table and some. And you can look at them. I know I can look at you if we on the court, and I know what you bringing. I know it's gonna be that dog, and I know it's gonna continue. And we have Zaire Lewis chiming in this evening. We appreciate you tuning in to us this evening. And he said Boston versus I think is that the Los Angeles Lakers. Is that his pick for the
Well,
championship? I believe.
anytime you say LA, it's the Lakers. You have to
Okay,
say the Clippers. You know what I mean? Anytime somebody say LA, we're talking about the Lakers. Everybody knows that.
got
That
you.
might be the homer
You
in
got
me.
to Yeah, you gotta be a little specific for sure. But we definitely appreciate you tuning in this evening as well, Zaire. Make sure you go through, check out quite a few of the videos we drop, man. We here on a weekly, on a regular basis. He said Boston versus Los Angeles Lakers in the finals, and he said the Celtics in six. Well, make sure you stay tuned, Zaire, because we got a Lakers fan in the chat. That's actually right here. That's Fanduel saying, I don't think he's going for that. I think he's gonna say Lakers in six. He might
Nah,
say five.
nah. Believe it or not, I mean we're gonna keep going through the rounds as the playoffs is progressing. But I got Boston going back to back this year too. I'm not like I'm a spit it real and authentic of how I really feel. You feel me? Boston is the best team in the NBA, bro, hands down.
Ooh,
Like
I
they
like it.
got so many weapons on their team, bro. How did the league even let them put that team together? I don't even understand it.
I was
For
still trying to
real,
figure out
no,
how
for
the heck the
real.
unicorn get over there, bro.
Man, listen, bro. You got Drew Holiday, who's down there max player. You got Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, both got $300 million contracts. And then you got the unicorn, like you were just speaking about. How the hell
Yeah,
did they get that team put together? How?
yeah.
And
Oh,
they gonna have the same core guys for the next 2 years.
yeah. Crazy,
I just don't get it.
crazy, man.
Hey, shout out who the GM over there? Is it Bird?
Danny
Danny
Ainge still over
Danny
there.
Ainge. It's Danny
I
Ainge.
think
Shout out to Danny Ainge. He's a legend.
still
He
over there
is.
doing this thing, man.
Yeah, he's the best at this game. You feel me with the
Phoenix Suns
GM?
better take a picture. The Phoenix Suns better take a picture. They've been talking about their GM. Man, whew.
Oh,
Oh,
Brad
it's Brad
Stevens is the
Stevens.
GM,
Okay, that's right. They did get
But
switched
Danny
over.
Ainge put that team together for real.
Put that, yeah, put
You know
that
what I
together
mean?
for him and let him ride with it. Like you coached
Yeah.
him. You was here before it started, so we're gonna ride it out. I'm gonna set you straight, which is that's I like the way that worked, man. That works great. And he even had one of his boys from over there where he's coaching out at the college level on that squad for a few years. Um, did you have anything else to say that you had for us this evening? Anything?
Nah, man, I'm done, bro. I'm about to go binge watch the rest of Squid Game, dog. I got
I
like
could dig
four
it,
more
man.
episodes.
I'm about to get back to a little bit of this painting that I was doing on this job. I'm glad that I was able to be able to get in here and finish getting done what I'm doing. But other than that, man, y'all know, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring y'all another show. So stay tuned because the weekend is here. Unc is gonna be out of town. Unc, you already know, safe travels, all the great stuff. We're gonna have City League TV in here. We're gonna have Parlay Poe in here for y'all this weekend. So make sure y'all stay tuned. And once again, we appreciate our sponsors, K and T Good Eats, Mr. and Mrs. Bird. You check them out at Kevin J. Bird on IG. Social Nutrition, 3136 South Hamilton Road, and the chef, the chief, 5991 at the chief on IG and TikTok. Make sure you go check them out on their respective sides of the town on the east side and stop in. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, Fanduel Zay, appreciate you. And as we always do, man, we tell the people, WTP Sports News, Parlay Post City League TV, we appreciate y'all. As all we do, man. We're going to get in the chat, chop it up. And as we always say,
Peace.
peace. We out.